You might be saying, what the hell is a drag chain? It's an alternative to an anchor. It's not really an anchor. You might be saying, why the hell do you need a drag chain? The ideal situation where you're going to need a drag chain is going to be in the river when you want to slow yourself down in current. This also applies to ponds and lakes. If you're getting blown around and it's blowing your vessel, this drag chain is going to slow your movement down. Kind of act like a anchor, but not so much. It's not an anchor. You probably don't want an anchor in a river because you're moving. With current, you do want to slow yourself down sometimes. What they call a drag chain. This is just regular chain. I can't remember how thick it is. I weighed this. This weighs 5 pounds. What I've seen is you attach everything at the top with a carabiner, or what I have is basically a chain connector that links together. It's good for 1,700 pounds. So there's my drag chain right here. And then if you want, you can shorten it up, just clip that up there. And then that's more of a compact. So what the internet has told me to do, you want about 1 to 3 feet. The other thing you need to get an inner tube. I went to a bike shop and they happen to have some. First, I'm just gonna cut the nipple off because we don't need that part. Then we have a giant stretch. Oh, this is a lot more. The guy was right. This is more than I need. I can always cut more off. I can't add more. So I'm just gonna cut an extra section. So now you can see it's longer than my chain for sure. Now I gotta get this around the chain. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed a piece of paracord. If I can get this to do this. Maybe if I put some weight on this thing. All right, let's try that again. There it is. Got it out the bottom. Find that one that's the center one. There it is. I gotta send this back through. I'm certainly learning knots a lot better. Oh, I see it. Oh, I got it. Whew. Okay. With the use of this paracord loop, what I can do is work the tube. So right now I'm standing on the paracord. It's by no means easy. Oh, I wish I had something up high to tie this to, like a pull-up bar. All right, I got the sheath on. My attachment point's right here. All right, the only thing other to do here, according to the internet, zip tie here, zip tie down here. Conveniently located right here. I have 2 zip ties. So just keep the rubber on there. And then it says to poke a hole through the rubber. Now I got that. Now I got a 5 pound weight. Now if I want, what I can do is I can bring that up. Wonder if I should do that. What do you guys think about that? More compact, more surface to drag, might be a better call. This might be more streamlined and come through the river a little easy. So I kind of don't want to commit to anything, but that would actually grab stuff right here. So I guess if I do that, I should probably zip tie that up. Is that the size? It's about a foot. This is 5 pounds in a foot. That should keep me from moving around a bit. I think I want to do that. This is going to be my drag anchor right here. This piece. It's pretty dense. That's my decision, right? Oh, I made a strategic mistake. I want this hook, this top part of this loop exposed. I bet if I just took this zip tie off, it would be a lot easier. Oh, way easier. Interesting conundrum to have. So I'm trying to figure out how I can clip this up. I feel like the carabiner is the jam in this situation. Oh, I got it. All right, here we go. Should I put another one in the middle here? Probably. All right, so here's my drag chain. That is a 5 pounds of drag. Now I just clip this on, drop it down. I got that high-vis paracord I'm going to attach to this so I can see where the snag might be. I'm also going to put a float on the line. So if I have to release the line up where I'm sitting because I've gotten snagged and I don't want to be attached to this anymore, the float will be sitting right here basically. But then it's going to float. So it's going to basically dictate where my line is. So that's going to, one, if I have to detach my line, that's going to save it. Just going to be a pool noodle. I got my drag chain set up, 5 pounds, D-ring for hooking, or that's actually a link connector. But that should work as my drag chain. Now the other thing I need is going to be line to hook to that, right? So I have to have line that's connected to this. Now in the case of an emergency, what I want is I can let this line run out, like say this gets snagged in the river. Now I'm having a problem. I can basically throw this in the water. I have a float that I attach to the line. I cut a piece of foam the full length of this chunk of noodle, shoved it in there, but not before I drilled a hole and stuck a Dunkin' Donut straw on the inside there. And then that's the perfect diameter for this line. And then when you tie a loop in it, it can't come out. So at one end, I'm gonna have a loop. At this end, I'm gonna have a loop. This will be attached to my drag chain. So this will just be floating in the water behind me. This line attached to my vessel. And now emergency happens. Zing this thing into the water because it's just gonna unravel in the water because this floats. And then eventually it's gonna hit the other end of the loop. If the line pulls the float down, it's gonna come down to that other loop and just stop. So that's kind of what I want to do. That's my safety thing. I'll have this probably lightly attached with a carabiner or something to my seat right next to me. That way if there is an issue, I can easily unclip it, chuck it in the water and not deal with it. That way, c'est la vie, it's all done. I don't know if this video helped you. If you were interested about drag chains, that's probably the only reason you're watching this video, possibly how to make one. Wasn't that hard? A little bit of effort getting that tire all the way down. It might make it easier if you did what I did and tie it up to a pull-up bar, have it secured. That way you can pull and use gravity to pull that tire tube down. Thanks for watching this week. I hope everyone has a great whatever thing you're doing right now. I'll catch you next time.